Hi everybody, welcome to our channel I know online IT. So today we are going to learn about invoice accounting. When we create any invoice, we will, we will also have to create accounting for the invoice. Actually, invoice we are creating for document proof as well as to enter the journal entry for the payable. Payable means liability. That means the liability is going to increase. Correct. Basically, when you create invoice, that means you're supposed to pay to the supplier. That means in the balance sheet the liability is going to increase. That means the balance of the liability increase due to the outstanding amount of the supplier. The supplier balance will increase. So when I create this invoice, say for example this is the invoice, we have just created this invoice with amount 1000, and the line it is showing 1000, and if you go to the distribution it is showing the line is something like expense account. Now I'm going to validate this invoice. Go to the actions, click on validate and click OK. So the system will validate this invoice and the status is going to change validated. It also has to go accounted. So I'm going to create here accounting, clicking actions button, create accounting. So we also discussed this. What is these three options already in the previous videos. Okay, so I'm clicking here final option, click OK. So the system will create the accounting entry for this invoice. How to check this accounting entry? Go to tools, click on view accounting events. In the new window, system will show the accounting entry if you click on view general entry button. Here the entry is expense account data to liability account. This item expense account is coming from your distribution lines. So whatever distribution lines we have created, from there we have selected the expense code combination 7420. It will be debited from the distribution line, and the liability from where it is coming from. So it is very important. The liability account is very important. Here we have a couple of setup for this liability account. If you observe here, so 01.00.2210.000.000. This is the code combination or account from where it is coming. If I go to financial options, setup, options, financial options. So it is a one field which is liability account, which is very mandatory. When systems trying to create accounting entry, system will pick up the liability account from this financial options accounting tab. This setup is important. We also discussed in our previous chapters, previous topics. The financial options is very important in the payables, Oracle payables, and this is the first setup in payables. Apart from here, the liability account, somewhere else also we can define liability account. When I create the invoice, in this invoice, the trading partner is nothing but here is a supplier. Some of the data is also coming from supplier side. If you select the liability account in the supplier side level, let me go to the supplier. So I'm copying this supplier name and go to supplier window. Let me search this supplier. Click go. In the left hand side options, if you click on this accounting option, you will also see here some of the tabs like liability, prepayment, bills payable, distribution set. In the first tab is a liability. There you can see liability account. But this liability account is supplier specific. But in the liability account in the financial options is the common for all suppliers. The the difference is in the liability, in the supplier side liability account is optional, but here it is a mandatory. If your liability account is not defined in the supplier site level, then the system will pick up accounting entry from accounting code combination from financial options. Let me show you once again. In the supplier, in the left hand side, if you check here in the accounting, there we have a tab liability. There you can define. But here this field is not mandatory field. If you have not defined, you have not selected any liability account here, then system will pick up the liability account while creating invoice from directly from financial options. So which is very important. And the second line, which is debit line, is coming from your distribution lines. Example you can see here 01.0007420 is the expense account. Example I have taken as a rent expenses. And if you go and check in the accounting entries, you can see here 7420 is debited and credited is 2210. Now in this particular invoice, as we will already have this account here, so system is picking from supplier side. The first system will go to the supplier side level and check this. If the liability account is there, then it will pick up from here, or else it will pick up from financial options, so that your invoice will be accounted debit line and credit line. Hope you understood this. Thank you very much. We will meet again with next topic. Subscribe our channel and click on bell icon for more videos and latest videos. Thank you.